Welcome to Wawa Sunwire. Today we're talking about Bersatu's internal crackdown on dissent.
Right. Okay. So we're diving straight into some pretty dramatic political developments within Party Pribumi, Bersatu, Malaysia. It feels like more than just standard party politics this time.
Oh, definitely. This is, well, it's a major move, a significant internal cleanup operation, you could say.
Yeah, cleanup sounds about right. We're
Yeah.
seeing these high-profile expulsions, suspensions. It really signals the leadership stamping his authority, wouldn't you say, consolidating power.
Absolutely. And it's quite surgical. The party's disciplinary committee didn't just make a general warning. They specifically targeted two very prominent figures.
Wan Saiful and Wan Ahmad Fayhsal, Wan Ahmad Kamal, both Supreme Council members.
Exactly. And the core allegation is that they were involved in trying to destabilize the leadership. This wasn't a minor shuffle. It looks like a calculated purge aimed at threats to the party president, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin.
Let's get into the specifics there, because the actions taken against those two were quite different, weren't they? Yes, very different, and that tells a story in itself.
Wan Saiful, the MP for Tasek Jelagor, he got the boot entirely, right? Expelled.
Correct. Full expulsion. That's the ultimate penalty within the party structure. It immediately removes his influence, his position on the Supreme Council, everything.
And compared to that, Wan Ahmad Fayhsal, Wan Ahmad Kamal, the Machang MP, his outcome.
He received a suspension of his party membership for 1 term. Still a serious disciplinary action, make no mistake, it's a strong warning shot.
But suspension versus expulsion, it suggests the party saw Wan Saiful's actions as, well, completely beyond the pale. Like he crossed a line they couldn't tolerate.
Precisely. The calculation seems to be that keeping him inside the party posed a greater risk than the political fallout of kicking out such a senior figure.
Okay, but this wasn't just about those two at the top, was it? You mentioned a cleanup, suggesting it went deeper.
Yes, and that's key to understanding this as a coordinated move, not just dealing with 2 individuals. It reached down to the grassroots level.
Ah, so division chiefs were involved too.
Exactly. 4 division chiefs were also expelled. Azruluddin from Hang Tua Jaya, Faisal Azma from Pengerang, Fadli Ismail from Ipoh Timur, and Isa Saiden from Ampang.
Wow. Okay. Taking out division chiefs, that's hitting the party machinery on the ground.
It is. Division chiefs are crucial for local mobilization, for implementing strategy. Removing them like this sends a very clear, very strong message down the chain.
The message being.
Absolute loyalty is required. Any hint of opposition, whether you're in the Supreme Council or running a local division, will be dealt with decisively. Muhyiddin seems to be ensuring alignment right through the party structure.
Let's talk about the why. The core allegation against all 6 was about collecting statutory declarations, SDs. For anyone listening who isn't steeped in Malaysian political games, why are SDs such a big deal, such a red flag?
That's a really important point. An SD, a statutory declaration, it's a formal document, carries legal weight. When you start collecting these from key party figures, MPs, Supreme Council members saying they've lost confidence in the leader.
It's basically an internal vote of no confidence, but formalized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It signals that dissent isn't just grumbling anymore. People are willing to put their names on the line legally to push for a leadership change. It immediately puts the president's position under serious threat.
And the timing here seems critical, too. This wasn't just some random event. It apparently blew up just before the party's big conference on September 9th.
Yes, the timing is very suggestive. Collecting SDs, especially involving multiple division chiefs, points towards a coordinated effort, and doing it right before a major party conference.
That's prime time for challenging the leadership, isn't it?
It is. Conferences are where formal challenges can be mounted, where factions try to consolidate. This timing suggests an attempt to build momentum, to potentially destabilize Muhyiddin's authority right when the party was gathering.
So the crackdown before the conference effectively shut that down.
It seems so. By acting swiftly and decisively before the event, the leadership essentially neutralized this potential opposition bloc before it could gain any formal traction at the conference itself.
Now, Wan Saiful's reaction to being expelled, that was something else. He didn't just go quietly.
Not at all. He held a press conference.
And denied trying to overthrow Muhyiddin.
Vehemently denied it. But then he made this rather interesting claim. He said the SD collection wasn't meant to oust Muhyiddin, but actually to support a supposed power transition plan.
A transition plan agreed upon last year, he claimed. That sounds convenient.
Well, it raises questions, doesn't it? If there was an agreed plan, why the need for SDs expressing lack of confidence? It could be, as you suggest, a justification after the fact. Or
Or perhaps Muhyiddin backed out of a deal forcing their hand.
That's the other possibility it implies. Either way, claiming a transition plan in the face of expulsion is a bold defensive maneuver.
But he didn't stop there. He really went on the attack, didn't he? Specifically targeting the party Secretary General, Datukseri Azmin Ali.
Yes, and this is where Wan Saiful arguably inflicted the most damage, not just defending himself, but attacking a key party figure.
And he didn't just criticize his performance or politics. He brought up the old sex video scandal from 6 years ago.
Which, in Malaysian political context, is, well, it's a highly charged move. Bringing up something like that isn't about policy. It's aimed squarely at damaging reputation, at undermining legitimacy through a past scandal. It's plain dirty, essentially.
He basically said Azmin Ali wasn't fit to be a leader in Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia because of it. That's quite the public accusation during an internal crisis.
It's direct character assassination, politically speaking. And predictably, that statement caused an immediate backlash within the party.
Other members condemned it.
Swiftly. They saw it as harming the party's image, creating unnecessary internal conflict and distraction. Calls went out almost immediately for the disciplinary committee to act against him for bringing the party into disrepute.
So attacking the Secretary General like that basically sealed his fate.
It certainly didn't help his case. It likely solidified the decision for expulsion. He attacked the party machinery, and the machinery removed him.
Okay, so how did the party formally justify these actions? They couldn't just say, we don't like you. There had to be a basis in the rules, right?
Absolutely. They relied on the party constitution.
Mm-hmm.
The disciplinary committee explicitly stated the actions violated specific clauses.
Which ones?
They cited Clause 9.1.4 of the party constitution and the General Code of Conduct, basically, rules against activities that harm the party's interests or unity. The final decision was then executed under Clause 22.5.
So using the rulebook to provide cover for what looks like a political purge?
That's certainly how the discipline members might see it. By invoking specific clauses, the leadership frames it as upholding internal law, not simply eliminating rivals.
The committee itself claimed the investigation was independent, unbiased, but how believable is that when they're investigating a challenge to the current leadership?
That's the inherent challenge, isn't it? Fairness is always questioned in these internal party disputes. And Wan Ahmad Fayhsal, Wan Ahmad Kamal, the one who was suspended, he publicly questioned the process almost immediately.
What was his argument?
He pointed to an alleged conflict of interest involving the chairman of the disciplinary committee itself. The implication being, if the judge is aligned with the president, can the trial really be fair?
So it creates this perception, regardless of the technicalities, that the outcome was sort of pre-decided.
That's the narrative it fuels for those disciplined and their supporters. A feeling that it wasn't a fair hearing, just the execution of a political decision.
But there's still a process for appeal, isn't there?
Yes, the party constitution does allow for that. The members who were disciplined have 14 days to appeal the decision to the party appeals committee.
Whether that committee will offer a genuine review or just confirm the initial decision, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Exactly. It remains to be seen how independent that appeals process will be.
So, stepping back and looking at the bigger picture, what does this very aggressive move tell us about Muhyiddin's leadership right now?
It signals, I think, a very clear, zero-tolerance approach to any internal dissent. The message is unmistakable. Loyalty is everything. Questioning the leader, organizing against the leader, that will not be tolerated.
Especially now with the political landscape being so competitive.
Precisely. In this climate, Muhyiddin seems to have decided that internal unity, even if enforced through measures like this, is critical for the party's survival and strength against external opponents. He's willing to take the hit of a public purge to ensure the party presents a united front.
It's fundamentally about control, isn't it? And maintaining the party's image, ensuring discipline before any potential future political battles.
I believe so. It's about consolidating power, eliminating potential weaknesses that rivals outside the party could exploit. Using the constitutional clauses shows a determination to control the narrative and the structure decisively.
It's a strong, maybe even brutal message to anyone else in the party who might be thinking of challenging the leadership down the line.
Definitely sets a precedent.
So the big question for everyone watching this unfold is, will this crackdown actually stabilize Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia? Will it shore up Muhyiddin's position in the long run? Or could it backfire, creating deeper resentment and hidden fractures that might weaken the party later, maybe even come the next election? We'd really like to know what you think.
Yeah, it leaves us pondering that core question. Does purging dissent make a party stronger through unity, or ultimately weaker by silencing necessary internal debate and challenge. Something to consider.
Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.